Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. How are you guys doing? Today I want to show you how I did this really cute butterfly set I did using some nail foils. I've been seeing this look everywhere on Instagram, so of course I had to give it a try myself. We are starting off here using some nail tips and inserting those in my practice hand. I know this is a little bit creepy, um, but this is actually my red iguana practice hand. If any of you are interested, I will have this linked down below. It's actually such a great hand for, like, pictures and videos. It looks very realistic. So I couldn't really find my tip cutters, so I'm just using a pair of scissors to cut my tips. I'm gonna do like a tapered square kind of shape. Alrighty, so in order to prep my tips for my practice hand, all I do is just buff the surface of the nail. That way, the gel or the color or anything I'm doing has a grip to, stick to. Now, if this was a client, I would do the same step. I would buff the surface of the nail, remove any cuticle, and then you would go ahead and put a primer down, primer, bonder, just whatever you use for your prep. But since this is a practice hand and it's just, some plastic tips, I am not going to do that. It's just a waste of product. So this is where I'm going to stop for my prep. So I'm just gonna dust off any dust on my tips. Gonna make sure you clean that with some rubbing alcohol. And then I'm gonna be using the color 056 from Amy Gel Polish. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. It's such a beautiful bright neon pink. So I'm gonna be showing you guys how to do a gel polish ombre that fades into, like, gel. I know a lot of people struggle with this, and I used to really struggle with this, especially for darker colors. It can be a little hard to fade. With pinks that are a little more forgiving, because you're kind of fading them with like a pink gel, so it's a little bit easier. So all I'm doing here is I'm just putting it on the tip, and then you take a brush that's not very dense. If you have an ombre brush, that's even better. So you just want to kind of like fade it out, and you want the top not to be as concentrated. I don't know how to explain it, but you can see what I'm doing over here. So I did only 2 coats. You can do as many coats as you like, to get it as dark as you want. After I finish that, I'm going to do the rest of my ombre with the gel. This one is Pink Builder by Light Elegance. And I'm taking the brush by Light Elegance as well. This is a gel brush. So all I'm gonna do here, I'm just gonna create my fade by putting a slip layer down, and then take a little blob of gel, and then you put it at the tip, and then you're just gonna fade it down. Now you want to make sure that this gel is dark at the cuticle area, and then when you start fading it down to the color, you want to cover a little bit of the color, but then when you start fading it down, make sure you go very light-handed. I know this video is sped up, so you can't really tell, but I'm using little to no pressure at all on my brush. I'm literally just floating the gel and letting it do the work for me, because this is a self-leveling gel. So as you can see here, Frisco and the ombre already looks pretty good. Just make sure you clean up your sides if you got anything on the skin, especially if this was like a real client. I'm gonna show you one more time here. Again, put that slip layer down. This slip layer is just going to help you to like slide the product, and it's basically going to go whatever you put that slip layer. Again, taking a little blob of gel, putting it in the middle, and then I'm really just floating it, making sure I'm getting as close as possible to the cuticle area, and then going left and right, back and forth, and just fading that down. And as you can see, when I get, you know, about like in the middle, I start fading it down, and then I do not take it all the way down to the nail because I still want that bright pink to be showing through. So yeah, that's actually how I do most of my color ombres, using gel. Keep in mind though, this mostly works when you do it with like lighter colors. This won't really work if you do it with like a black or a burgundy, or like a dark blue or anything. But yeah, anyways, so I'm going to be encapsulating this in clear gel. I am taking Fiber by Light Elegance. You can use any clear gel that you have. The reason why I chose Fiber by Light Elegance is because it's, as you can see in the pot, it's kind of like cloudy, so I like using this because when I have, you know, if I have any harsh lines or anything, this will kind of hide that for me. Like it's going to blend it even more. If you have those harsh lines and you don't have a gel like this, you can just take a little bit of clear, mix a tiny little bit of white or milky white or just anything to kind of give it that cloudy effect, and then put it over top just to hide any harsh lines that you may have. Okay, so for the rest of the nails, I'm going to be using Frosted Pink by Young Nails. This is actually very similar to the gel that I just used for the ombre. This is a little bit more pigmented. You don't have to go as thick with this. One thin coat does the job. Has a lot of pigment to it. It's such a beautiful color. So yeah, doing the same thing, just applying that to the nail, floating it around. This is actually a thinner viscosity, so it's even more self-leveling than the other one. Also, just want to let you know that I am not going too thick in this set. Again, it's a practice hand, don't want to waste too much product. So if this was an actual client, my apex would be so much higher than it is in this video, and that's, like I said, because it's just a practice hand. But yeah, if this was an actual client and you were doing such long nails, you would want to make sure that your apex is a lot higher and definitely a lot thicker in the middle, just to make sure that the extension is strong enough. For the middle finger, I wanted to do something different, and I thought, you know, what's better than a marble nail, and I was actually really happy with the way it turned out. I'm gonna show you how to do a really simple and easy marble look that is actually super cute. All I'm doing here is I'm just taking a thin layer of that same Frosted Pink gel, and without curing that, just leave it the way it is. You're gonna take a gel polish, a white gel polish, gel paint, whatever you have. Take a little bit of that on any brush, and then just make some lines. You could play with this, you could do it however you like. I just did 2 lines here. You just kind of blend that out. Honestly, the messier the better. You do not have to be very precise with this. So I'm gonna go ahead and cure this. After it's been cured, I don't like how bright the white is, so I'm going to be taking a little bit of that pink and I'm going to be putting that on top. Do not cover everything. The point of this is just to, you know, make it a little more, just kind of blend it all together. Don't know how to explain that, but you get it, you can see what I'm doing. I wanted to put a little bit of glitter in here, so I'm taking 048 by Emily gel polish, and I'm just going to go right beside that white line, and this, you guys, makes a huge difference. I just love the way this turned out, and it really goes nice with the color as well. Once again, if you guys are wondering about anything I'm using in this video, or if you would like to purchase anything, everything will be in the description down below. I will try my best to link everything. But yeah, so now that we're done with the marble, I'm going to take that same clear gel I was using before, and I'm just going to encapsulate everything. This is just going to make sure that when you're doing your finished filing, you are not going to touch the design or ruin everything. You're just going to be shaping the nail, and then once you top coat it, the design is still going to be there. I really like this method actually for, you know, designs like that require a lot of layers or a lot of mix of colors and glitters. It's just better because it's a lot smoother, where if you would do the same thing on top of a finished file nail, it would just, you know, become really bumpy, and it would just ruin the final shape of the nail that, you know, you work so hard for. So yeah, I'm just wiping the nails here with some rubbing alcohol, and I'm going to start filing the nails. I don't really go in depth for filing, it just takes so long, and you know, I'm moving all the time, so it's so hard to get that on camera. But if you guys want like a separate video just on filing, let me know. But for now, I believe I'm showing you only this nail, or maybe this and the next one. But basically all I do is I always just switch between my e-file and then my hand file. I focus on the free edge on the sides with my hand file, and then I do the surface of the nail with my e-file. The hand file I'm using here, I believe it's either 150 or 180 grit. Since I'm using gel is, you know, very soft, and it's not that hard to file, so you don't really need a very coarse grit. Same thing with the e-file. I'm just using a medium zebra sanding bits that I got off my beauty supplier, and it works just as well as a diamond bit that's like, you know, like a medium grit. But yeah, you don't want to use anything that's too coarse. It's just going to file through your gel and just take big chunks of it. Okay, so now that I'm done with all my filing, I'm just gonna clean off the nails. Make sure you get all the dust off the nails, and then we are ready to get into the fun stuff. So just to finish off my marble nail here, I'm taking a little bit of a white regular nail polish. This is not gel, just a regular nail polish. And I'm going to be using this as like an ink. I'm just gonna put a little bit down, taking a little bit of acetone on my brush, and I'm just gonna play around with it. I want a little bit more depth, a little bit more detail. It's gonna give it that nice layered look. So if you have a white ink, go ahead and use that. If you don't, a regular nail polish will, do the job. So for my foil transfer gel, I'm using this one by Born Pretty store. This one is a really good one. I also have the one from Daily Charm, but I couldn't find it for this video, so I just used this one. Honestly, works just as well. I find that transfer gels work much better than the glue. If you know what I'm talking about, the one where you just put it on the nail, it goes on white, and then you gotta wait till it dries and turns clear, and then you put the foil. But yeah, I feel like those don't work that great, so I definitely prefer using a transfer gel. And if you don't have one, make sure you invest in one. It's definitely worth it. Also, always make sure you cure it for the recommended time, depending on where you buy it from. I cured mine for 60 seconds, and we are ready to use the foil. This one right here I got online, not sure from where, but again, I'll try to link everything down below. So I find cutting your foil into pieces, it's so much better than trying to just put the whole thing on the nail. I find that there's a lot of creases when you try to put the whole thing, and it just doesn't transfer as nice and smooth. So especially here that we're doing butterflies, I'm just picking the ones that I like, cutting them, and then I'm just kind of placing it where I think it's going to look cute. So all you really gotta do is just take that little piece and press it down really good. One mistake you see me do here is I did not take my gloves off. Make sure you take your gloves off, or you go wash your hands, or use one of those, silicone rubber thingies to press it down, just because I got dust all over these nails. And if you do get dust all over them, make sure you clean it up, because then you don't want it to interfere when you're putting the top coat on, and there's nothing more annoying than getting dust in your top coat. But yeah, this is very simple. Just see where you like it and then press it down. If the image does not come off all at once when you take it off, just go back in, press it again, and if it still doesn't come off, just put a little bit of gel, cure it for 60, 30, whatever it's recommended, and then just press it down again and it should work. I do actually really love and enjoy working with foils. It's such a quick way to do a design, if you don't have time. But I feel like it's one of those things that it's either a hit or miss. I'll have some clients that will come back and they still have the design on and everything, and then I'll have others that will come back and everything had peeled off. So if you have that problem, I would definitely recommend to encapsulate this in gel. So after you're done with your foil design, just go ahead and slap some clear gel in there, buff it, file it, shape it again, and then put your top coat on, and I promise you it will stay on there. Also, if you want to remove any excess foil, you can just take a little bit of acetone and just swipe it. It's going to come off right away. And of course, we cannot finish this look without putting some crystals. So I'm going to show you the sizes I'm using here. This is 10, these are 8, these are SS6, these are SS5, and then I'm using, you know, these little what are these called? Oh, caviar beads. For my gem gel today, I'm gonna be using my Ugly Duckling Stick It. I love this gem gel. It's so good. It really holds the stones in place. The only bad thing I have to say about this is that it has a sticky layer. So this does not dry, you know, like without a sticky layer. So you do have to go over it with a non-wipe top coat, or you would have to wipe it with some rubbing alcohol to get that stickiness away. So yeah, basically all I'm doing is I'm just taking a little bit of that gel, applying it wherever I want my crystals to go, and then I am taking my caviar beads, sorry, and I'm putting those in between each two crystals. It just adds a really nice detail. I'm also going to be taking a little bit in the middle, just randomly. But yeah, you can have fun with this, play around. If you're not into crystals, you don't even have to put them on there. It looks good just, you know, without them either. Also forgot to mention, to pick up my crystals, I'm just using my wax pencil. You can use any wax pencil, but yeah, it definitely makes your life a lot easier. And for my final step here, we're gonna go in with our top coat. This is my favorite. This is the no wipe top coat from Ugly Duckling. I'm just gonna top coat all the nails. Something very, very important: you do not ever want to go over top your crystals. Whether you're using Swarovski crystals or fake crystals, whatever, you do not want to go over them. You're just going to ruin the look. They're not going to be shiny anymore. So you just want to go around them and seal them. But yeah, don't go over them. And this brings us to the end of this video. Thank you so much guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you like and subscribe for more content like this. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.